Stay in Love TV is your production to distribution solution to getting your message seen and heard. Having your own TV show with Stay in Love TV has never been easier than now. Stay in Love TV gives you the power to share your message with the world. Stop watching TV and start being watched on TV. Stay in Love TV offers real-time multicasting, all with one click. This opportunity puts you on the world stage with an audience of over 200 million. In addition to your low monthly subscription fees, you will also receive monthly network coaching and training from the network itself to ensure that before your first show premieres, you are set up for success. We at Stay in Love TV bring over 20 years experience in sales, marketing, advertising, and business development. Stay in Love TV, purposeful entertainment driven by love, empowered with passion, fueled with faith. Go to www.stayinlovetv.com and let's get started. No longer will you be stung by outrageous nail prices. Contact Latina Queen Bee herself, servicing the Tampa Bay area. And you know what I heard? She even travels. 813-414-1405. That's 813-414-1405. Queen Bee Nail Hive. Come be pollinated. This week's episode is sponsored by Dollhouse of Tampa Salon and Studio, where the inner doll is created. Styling services they offer are sew-ins, quick weaves, relaxers, facial waxing, eyelash extensions, and much, much more. It's time for you to find your inner doll. Contact Selena today at 813-802-6155, servicing the Tampa Bay and surrounding areas of Florida. And make sure you follow them on Instagram and Facebook. The Ride Along with Vanessa Morning Show streams Fridays, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Stay in Love TV. Get your copy of Mental Equation, available on Amazon and on Stay in Love TV, today's Michelleology.
Seven.
Welcome. You have just entered today's Michelleology. I'm Michelle. I'm your spiritual evolutionist and your motivator. In today's Michelleology, we provide you with insight that's needed to take a deeper look into your consciousness and provide tools that will open up the doors to your higher self. Get ready for a now awakening. Remember, once you go in, you'll never be without. Namaste. I bow to the divine presence in you in today's Michelleology. I'm Michelle. I'm your motivator, and I'm your spiritual evolutionist. Welcome into this space, in this place, in this universe, in this dimension of energy that is going to impact your life. We are so excited about what Stay in Love TV network is doing to awaken the nation of everything that they have the power, or that we have the power for. So I come to you on this Monday morning at 7 a.m. 7 means complete. If you have joined me and you are in the midst of beginning your day, you have started your day in the right place and in the right space. And so today, as we begin to move forward in our true awakening, into coming into our highest version of ourselves and allowing ourselves to be ourselves. We've been so conditioned from the outside forces, which are trying to determine who we are when we already know who we are. They just tried to make us forget that we forgot who we were, and cause us to be in a simulation or an illusion or whatever you want to call it, but it is not the true inside you. So today we are going to get on the topic immediately, because I want to have enough time to express the downloads that the Creator, the Spirit, the Source, God is downloading into my inner being, into my infinite wisdom, into my intelligence, my divine intelligence. And we're going to talk about personality versus impersonality. Personality versus inner personality. And as we begin to do that, you're going to discover some things, because I am not trying to change your mind. I am just offering you some tools that will awaken your mind, and you will create the change. So when we talk about personality, we're talking about an outside creation of your reality, an outside creation of a reality. That reality is influenced by your third dimension, your outside, your environment, the things that you encounter within this vehicle, this flesh, and that is causing you to view your life from your eyesight, which are these, which shows you from the outside in, versus your insight, which is your inner eye, your first eye, your third eye, your intuition eye. There are multiple names for it, but you have to decide what works for you. You have to define what works for you. So I like to say my first eye because it's on the inside, and the inside created first before the outside. And so I call it my inner eye. But here we are creating our personal realities. Whatever you create, because you are a creator, it is going to become real to you. So whether it's an illusion or a simulation, it is going to become, let me slow down. It is going to become so real to you that it becomes a reality for you. So what was done to us before the age of 35, we were conditioned in our thinking based on outside influence of our environment. And so it created a personal reality for you. It created a normal for you, which really wasn't normal. We were just told it was. And it was passed down from generation to generation. And each person or each individual began to create their own reality of what life is, what life means. And we were given spells, which is spelling. We were sent to school to learn spells. Now, we always talk about spells as witchcraft. Witchcraft is just rebellion. So when you were given these spells, it was to teach you rebellion against your inner being, your inner personality. And so these spells were to defy you, but now we have to redefine those very spells that were given to us. We must reverse them and begin to use a better way of speaking over our lives or prophesying over our lives. And so the the personality has created fear, doubt, selfishness, resentment, depression, anxiety, all of those things, stress, sickness, disease, dis-ease has caused disease, and it has become to come to you as a reality of what your life is. But it is not the truth. It's a simulation. And a simulation is never real. It is a duplication of something that was real. So when we enter into our inner personality, I always say go in so you'll never be without. We're entering to the heart mind. Now, on the personality, you're in the head mind. The head mind is where fear, doubt, selfishness, resentment, there's 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts approximately. I don't know how they measure that, but that goes through your brain in a day. And so it is based on things that you physically see unless you are becoming conscious. So when we're in the personality, we're in darkness, we are in defiance, we're in misleading, we're in the problem and not the solution. And so what we want to do, or what we will to do, is to go back in so we'll never be without. So your inner personality begins to create the intelligence of what your inner heart mind, where God is, where source is, where the creator is, however you entitle him. Don't get caught up in that. But whatever you have defined your highest version of you, your creator, your God, your master, your teacher, whatever you call it, the Holy Spirit, chi, prana, chakras. There are so many names, but the names are because we're such a great universe. The universe is inside of us, and it has all information. Listen, information. It is forming a nation within you, and we have so much power in that. We know so many things. We can actually say we know everything from the inside out because it's based on God's intelligence, and God knows everything. And He's everywhere all at the same time. And so when we discover the inner personality as our greatest power, as our greatest version of who we are, as our greatest being, God being, or expression of a divine purpose, when we begin to tap into that, we come into our superpower, our supernatural power, our power that reigns over anything else that is happening. And so if I can control you, if I have a will to control you, I am not going to educate you on the solution. I'm going to continue to magnify the problem. And if I continue to do that, I'm never going to give you education, because education comes from the inside out. All of these things, information, education, are all inner things. And so if I'm trying to control you at this point, I'm not going to give you information or education or the true information and education. And so the inner personality is when we are in our greatest expression. We have been created by the Creator to be creative, so we have to start creating. And one thing we must be aware and awake of is that everything is already in the universe. And if the universe is in you, and everything is already in the universe, the only thing that we must do is manifest it from the inside out, not the outside in. And so as we begin to have knowledge of, the more we know, the more we grow. We fail for the lack of knowing. Now, let me give you something. We are always telling people to think, think, think. Now, thinking is in its place a grand piece of material to be used. But when we're thinking to know, then we're focusing on the problem. But when we're knowing to think, we're focusing on the solution. So in your inner personality, you are already knowing. And then you're lining it up with your head mind to think of the expression or the experience in which you're going to relay it so it is enjoyable for everyone that comes in contact with you, because then you can see the connection, because we're all energy. And so this is the energy that's coming out of you in such a way that it's going to connect and be able to give its widest expression to all of those that are in contact with you. This is good in the neighborhood. Once you recognize your worth, you don't have a need to prove yourself to anyone. And so you begin to operate in that inner personality. You begin to know the true person within you, and then you make it a reality. You don't look at what they call reality outside of you and then create that for you, because that has already been tampered with. You're an original. And when it comes from the inside of you, it is an original sound that nobody else has. That is the greatness is in us. If we begin to look around at all the people that we come in contact with, that we're connected to, that we're in a relationship with, and we recognize that inner personality of that person as being another universe connecting with the central universe, and we're all coming together with a different kind of creativity of the information that has been planted in us as a seed, and God has allowed it to be expressed through this human body. That's a lot of information. But once you allow yourself to meditate, again, meditation is more than just having soft music and getting in that position that's behind me and putting those fingers together so you connecting the energy and allowing all of those chakras that are going up the baseline, the backbone, the spine, the kundalini, the energy that is rising on your spine and sending out the aura. See all of those spaces outside? all of these spaces, this is aura. And sending out the aura that it causes when people come in contact with you to be able to feel that. And that's the reason a lot of people don't like you, because they cannot pinpoint what that is about you. So they look on the negative energy. They find something negative so they can focus on that to divert, that they really don't want to confess, that they don't know what it is. When they come into your presence, things begin to happen. What kind of things? All things are possible. And so as we begin to look at that, and we begin to find ourselves, define ourselves, and redefine ourselves, because some of the defining that we're doing is based on outside. If you're trying to meet somebody else's standard, you've already missed the mark, because you will never be able to add up to someone else's standards. You have to stay in your lane. You have to maintain a focus. You have to be totally in a mindset of interpersonality. Interperson. Let me give you some benefits. I've already told you a couple of them, or quite a few of them. The benefit of going in is you're getting the information from the source. It is not secondhand information. It is not nothing that has been added, divided, subtracted, multiplied, any of that. Excuse me. It is straight off the press. It is a hearing that no one else has heard in that small voice that is on the inside of you. So it's not secondhand information. It has not been translated. It has not been tampered with. It is just straight from the press. Now, when you get information straight from the press, then you know it has truth. But if you get it from someone else, they're going to tell you like they heard it. And how they heard it may not be like how you hear it. That's why when we communicate with people, and I've been talking about this for a while, why have they created words that sound alike but have a different meaning if it's not to confuse you in your communication? So when you're coming from the inner personality, the inner person, the inner divineness, then you're getting it straight from the press, and so that you know that it's the truth. The other benefit is it is designed perfectly for you, and you don't have to make any adjustments based on what somebody else is saying on the outside. Well, I think you should cut your hair. Well, I think you should add on hair. Well, I think you should be bald. Those are added things that are causing you to transform and be up to somebody else's standard. But when it comes straight from the inner personality, from the inner being, from the source, it is designed. It is perfectly designed for you. That is why we all, even in this physical state, we look different. We may have features alike, but nobody looks, even twins, they do not look exactly alike. There'll always be something that separates twins. And so as we begin to meditate, that means we quiet ourselves. That means we quiet this. And we begin to listen to this, the heart mind. And as we quiet this, our heart mind can speak without interruption. Oh, that's good. In the neighborhood, there will be no interruptions when you go into meditation and your heart mind, your source, your God begins to speak to you from the depths of the heart. And that's why then we have made the Lord, the law of God, the divineness. We have made that our shepherd, our leader, our guide. And that is the reason we shall not want. So Psalms 23 in the Bible, I know a lot of you don't read the Bible. A lot of you don't agree with the Bible, but there are some very influential tools in the Bible that you can use as you take this journey. Remember, this is not our home. We're just traveling. We're just on a journey. We are not stabilizing ourselves here. We're always resurrecting and we're always rapturing up. And so this cannot be our stable place because this is a movement, not a monument. We are constantly moving because energy always moves. And so we can level up instead of staying on this same basis of doing things over and over and over and over, getting the same results. And that's just insanity. When you talk about that, that is more like mental paralysis. Ooh, mental paralysis. And that mental paralysis is when you're stuck. You can't move to the left or to the right. You're just stuck in a place. And so we will to have these episodes to give you movement in your limbs, in your spiritual limbs, to be able to move out of this paralysis of your mind. And so as the inner personality begins to flow on the outside, you're getting information right off the top. You're giving the truth of it, and you're giving a form that is just for you. It is designed just for you. And then you move into the wisdom. And your knowledge begins to convert to wisdom. Having knowledge and knowing how to use it. It's no good to know something if you don't know how to use it. And then once you know a thing, you cannot know it. So it is good for us to go in and know ourselves. This body of mine is not me. And I always give this example. Outside is my car, but my car has no movement until my energy gets in it. Oh, yes. And so the same thing with this body. So this is not you. You is on the inside. The real, ultimate, divine power is on the inside. And so when we look at moving from personal reality, which is someone outside of you, personal view about what should be your reality, and that's control. But when you look at inner personality, it is divinely designed just for you. So as we begin to move ourselves into this energy and we recognize that we are a universe with so much information and so much power, then we begin to tap into that because that is where our confidence is. When you know who you are, you have confidence. Some people call it arrogance. But if you know who you are, it is confident. When you know your worth, it is confidence. You don't have to ask things that you already know. Oh, yes. You already know this. And so our universe is not just outside of us in the air, but that same universe, the stars and the planets and the moon and the sun, all of that's inside of us. And it is giving us life. The wind is the breath. Every time that you feel the wind on the outside on your body, imagine that feeling on the inside. You know how it feels when you just feel a breeze and it's cool and it's comforting? That's the same thing that your inner personality does. It is the wind of God breathing life into you, breathing your motivation back into you, breathing your purpose into you, breathing your insight into you, your intuition. You know, we are stacked and packed with so many jewels that are just sitting in our jewel box and we're not wearing them. I like that analysis. But they're just sitting there. So what good is it sitting in a box? We can't experience its beauty. We can't experience its power. We can't experience its attraction. And so what we must do at this point is meditation. Meditating day and night. You actually meditate when you're focused on something. And so what you must do is focus on your heart. Now, having a heart coherence is just being in contact with your heart. Um, I was told that because our hands are white or light on the inside of that because they are so connected to the energy. And so are our feet. And so the energy which is flowing like out of these hands, the energy you see at the tip of it, let me get it right here. At the tip here, at the tip here where that's coming out, then we can take this same energy to use. That's why the laying hand on the sick is like effective, but there has to be a connection. The person that you're laying hands on or doing Reiki on, some call it Reiki. In the church, they call it laying of hands. However, it's the energy that's flowing out of your chakras into your hands. So sometimes this same energy you can generate or sew it back into yourself. So sometimes you just need to connect your hand to your heart and meditate. You don't have to have music. You don't have to be in a certain setting. You can be sitting at your desk, sitting in your car. When you do that, it calms you. Another method that I found that calms you, it calms the parasympathetic, I can't even say it, parasympathetic nerve. And your nerve is connected to your blood pressure. That nerve is connected to your blood pressure. So the closing of the right side of your nose, inhaling, releasing. Now, this is part I bet you didn't know, that this brings your blood pressure down. So if you're in a state of a situation that's happening outside of you, and then you want to calm yourself and bring your heart coherence, I will take my hand, place it. I'll do my right hand, and I always do the right hand. Right hand, place it on my heart, and then the right side of your nose, you're going to mash and inhale. Hold it and release. You do that for a minute, you're going to feel the energy start generating through your body. And it's like a quick restoration of your inner personality and kind of moving the personality out of the way. So these are just some tools to operate in your inner personality. There are so many more, but these are some that I'm bringing to you that you can start out and begin to explore what's in you. There is so much more in you than you even know, but we have to know it in order to grow it in our heart mind and line it up with our head mind. And it takes us to this place and this space that is always, always going to give you the greatest version of yourself. It is going to allow you to be the true you. And it's also going to take some pressure out of you trying to be like somebody else, trying to duplicate what somebody else is doing to get where they got. You've got to allow yourself, because you're so great. Listen, you're so great and you're so powerful that until you get to the point that you know that, you're going to continue to operate in this circle. And this circle may take you in a circle for 40 something years. And you are a few steps from your promised land, which is inside of you. And so, in today's Michelleology, my prayer is that you received a tool today that is going to bring you to your ultimate me mental equation of who you are, without any filters, without any interference, but just being confident in knowing who you are. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today. This has been a journey that you can go back to and retract and re-listen and reimpose the greatest version of yourself. Well, here on Stay in Love TV, we are all about the truth. And if you are interested in displaying your truth and bringing out your truth and becoming the greatest version of you, and maybe there's something that you have created that you would like to release on this station, you are welcome to. Information will be provided for you. Below, there's my email, motorrock@hotmail.com, my Cash App, the $, the motivated one. If you are led to sow into this ministry, I would appreciate it. But most of all, my desire is that you sow into yourself. And so as you begin to sow into yourself, you begin to reap the greatest harvest ever. Why? Because once you go within, you'll never be without. Well, this is Michelle. I'm your motivator. I'm your spiritual evolutionist. Welcome into this world of energy. I pray that you will meet me back here next week at this same time so that we can take this journey together. Together, we're better, and apart, we're divided. So I want to come into contact with you in a way and a place that we can operate in the greatest version of us. Remember, you've been created by the Creator to be creative. So start creating your creations and stop duplicating others. Okay? Namaste. I bow to the divine presence in you.
Stay in Love TV is your production to distribution solution to getting your message seen and heard. Having your own TV show with Stay in Love TV has never been easier than now. Stay in Love TV gives you the power to share your message with the world. Stop watching TV and start being watched on TV. Stay in Love TV offers real-time multicasting, all with one click. This opportunity puts you on the world stage with an audience of over 200 million. In addition to your low monthly subscription fees, you will also receive monthly network coaching and training from the network itself to ensure that before your first show premieres, you are set up for success. We at Stay in Love TV bring over 20 years experience in sales, marketing, advertising, and business development. Stay in Love TV, purposeful entertainment driven by love, empowered with passion, fueled with faith. Go to www.stayinlovetv.com and let's get started.